The JuRY Daily Show is brought to you, as always, by you. PayJuryDaily.com. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the JuRY Daily Podcast /show /YouTube series. It's just JuRY Daily. That's all that matters. My name is Justin Robert Young. Welcome, friends. Wednesday, July 25th is the date and time. We got a couple stories. Real quick off the top, thank you to everybody who has already supported us at the brand new Patreon, PayJuRyDaily.com. We are almost up over 100 patrons already, which is just mind-blowing that so many people have been so generous already. So if you want to help us get over that milestone, head over there, PayJuRyDaily.com. And I don't normally do this. Now, normally I don't do this. Oh, my God. By the way, I listened to the 19-minute R. Kelly, I Admit song yesterday. Jesus fucking Christ. Judge Judy with the fucking wrap it up gif. That's my review of the 19-minute R. Kelly, I Admit song, where, by the way, he doesn't really admit anything. He admits he's awesome, and he's R. Kelly, and you should look up the definition of sex slave and cult. You know, it's all fun and games, Robert, until you look it up and your face is on the Wikipedia. I'm just saying, like, at some point, someone's going to throw your face on that Wikipedia, and then you'll really know the backfired momentum of your song. I swear. All right. Normally, I don't do this, but we have changed the format of this show. I think it's a fundamentally different show. We have always had really good reviews on iTunes and Google and everywhere else that you review stuff. But if you want to take your time out of your day to support the show, that's the way to do it, unless you're going to PayJuRyDaily.com. But rate, review, subscribe everywhere on YouTube. Just do it wherever you feel comfortable rating, reviewing, and subscribing, but mostly iTunes. That is the place to be. Let's see how we can move this up the charts as we are now a daily podcast. Let's get in to the stories of the day. I am a total shill for United Airlines. I don't know how it came to this, but I am officially just a total unpaid shill for the most loathed airline on the internet. And here's another reason to be upset with them. This is the headline from Jalopnik.com. United CEO refuses to sit coach for an interview about how shitty coach seats are today. This was actually a really fun interview that the Wall Street Journal did, or at least whoever's on their airline beat. But they got the heads of Delta and American to do interviews about the coach experience on their airlines while sitting in coach seats. That's just cool because there is a very weird trade going on right now in commercial airline flight. Number one, airline flight has never been cheaper than it is right now. If you literally just want to get from point A to point B, you can get there cheaper than you ever have before. However, that means that the experience is incrementally getting shittier and shittier. If you have ever ridden on Spirit Airlines, you know exactly what I mean, because that is the absolute trade-off. If you slide all those sliders, price to the lowest, and sacrifice of comfort and experience to the highest, then you have Spirit Airlines. It's like, we will charge you $7 to get from Miami to Atlanta. However, every time you fart, we will charge you an incremental $2. Your seat will be a literal thimble, and everything that you look at will be Shibuya Square level advertising, because we have sold every square motherfucking inch of this plane so people can get in front of your face. United is not immune to this, nor is Delta or American Airlines. This has been a constant thing among all the major players, that their economy seats have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. So the only CEO who didn't do it was Oscar Munoz of United, and he responded, because I am the fucking Baghdad Bob of United. I will not read the mean things said about him, and I will only read his response. At the time the request came in earlier this year, we were at a pivotal moment in executing the strategic plan that we had recently laid out, and chose not to dedicate time to an interview on our CEO's schedule. We continue to invest in our economy product and provide customers with a comfortable journey. As an example, we are in the process of rolling out a new economy seat on our... All right, I even got bored. Whatever. We don't have to read this. Do you think that the CEO should have had to do it? Like, is this was obviously a bad look. It was a bad look enough that they had to respond to it. So it would stand to reason that the right thing would be, when you find out that the other CEOs are both doing it and you're going to be the odd man out, that really you're going to become the dog that doesn't bark. You are going to be part of the story. You kind of got to do it, right? You got to get on a flight. You got to say, because it's not like the other CEOs said anything of interest. They said, yeah, we think these seats are great. Although the one thing that both of the other CEOs made a point to say, or one of them, I forget which one said it, but that they have made it a mandate among their executive class that they have to sit coach in flights under 3 hours, which are like, under 3 hours, these are some regional hops. You know, doesn't take all that long. I mean, I guess most East Coast travel, probably under 3 hours. But anything cross-country, they're like, nah, go ahead. Go ahead and upgrade to business. You're on business. Upgrade to business. We got a bit of a weirder story out in Russia. Where is this? Where's the dateline on this? Remote Russian town. Man, I'll tell you what, it's so fucking remote, it didn't even warrant a dateline from the Sun. Remote Russian town plunged into total darkness for several hours last week, sparking rumors of a secret Kremlin weapon test, UFOs, or even the devil's work. An area bigger than the British Isles was plunged into darkness for several hours on Friday, sparking rumors of a meteorite or apocalyptic weapons test. This is the video that we can see from the Sun of the shade of sky that happened in the middle of the day. We now read from their article. Mystery surrounds the sudden appearance of a massive black cloud that turned away into the night across an area bigger than the British Isles. For those of you who are just listening, imagine dark beige, if not even darker than that, enveloping the entire sky. There are claims that the terrifying phenomenon could have been caused by the dust from a meteorite strike or the test of an apocalyptic weapon. Other explanations for mystified locals were a UFO, an unreported eclipse, or the work of the devil, or smoke from unidentified wildfires. Who is like, you would imagine if you were going to do the Man on the Street compilation, right? Or it's just like, who would be saying all of these things, right? A guy in a flannel tucked in shirt. Well, I think it's a UFO. Adjust for whatever regional Russian accents you want to use. I think it was a UFO. Scientist lab coat. It is not impossible that it was an unreported eclipse. Tattered rags, a worn house coat with a gigantic mayonnaise stain on it. It's the work of the devil! And then maybe a conservationist with horn-rimmed glasses. It most likely is smoke from unidentified wildfires. But my favorite thing is the idea that it was a weapons test. Because how amazing is it that you could test a massive weapon that would envelop a piece of Russia that, according to this, is larger than the British Isles, and you would have to answer to nobody. Holy shit. Fucking Russia's got it made in the shade. Like, imagine if the entire eastern seaboard was plunged into darkness. Somebody's got to answer for that, right? Like, there's some person, there's somebody at the White House that has to say, wait a minute, point of order. Who plunged the eastern seaboard into darkness? What is at the very least, us or one of our enemies? Unreported eclipse, now that it's being pointed out in the chat, might also be sillier than the work of the devil. In fact, rank them. Rank them. If you're watching this on YouTube, then comment and rank them. What is most likely? UFO, an unreported eclipse, the work of the devil, or smoke from identified wildfires? Please rank them 1 through 4. 1 through 4. UFO, the work of the devil, smoke from identified wildfires, or an unreported eclipse. I would like to see whether or not there is a consensus. 1 would be the most likely. 4 would be the least likely. Oh yeah, no, the devil, when reached for comment,
it wasn't me. Yeah, they caught me on camera. It wasn't me. Spread an ash cloud over Russia. It wasn't me. It was an unreported eclipse. Sounds like Lee.
All right, folks, let's go ahead and get into your emails. You can go ahead and email the show, jurydaily@gmail.com. Again, jurydaily@gmail.com. Gibson from YouTube writes, I can confirm. All right, we are now hip deep in a racial investigation. 'Tis I, Justin Robert Young, racial investigator. We do not know whether or not we have received tremendous conflicting evidence on whether or not the air cheek kiss is a Hispanic thing. We do not know whether or not the air cheek kiss is a Hispanic thing. Because Gibson from YouTube writes, I can confirm that cheek kissing is at the very least not a Mexican Hispanic thing. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more popular in Spain, given its technical proximity to France. So Gibson is saying maybe in Europe, where they're closer to white people, but not in Mexico. Brian writes in, my best friend's Ecuadorian wife does the air kiss regularly. So, okay, Ecuador, yes. Mexico, no. Where is the line here? Where is the line? We don't know the line. We're looking. If you are calling all Hispanics, we need to know whether or not you do the air cheek kiss, and whether or not we can do a map saying these are the Hispanic countries where the air cheek kiss is a thing. We got to get to the bottom of this. Cody from YouTube commenting on our show yesterday with the inimitable Brian Brushwood pointed out that we were negligent in our episode because we did not bring up one very key point here, and that is that Brian indeed has a history of being accused of being a pedophile by 4chan. In fact, here, you want to know what? Let's play a little bit of this audio. This is I Won the Internet Lottery.
Gotten big enough to attract the attention of 4chan. That's right, 4chan, that lovable group of rapscallions who stir up trouble on the internet. And today, I was the lucky lottery winner of a honest-to-goodness /B pedo bomb. This is where everyone gets together. Give me my award. I won it fair and square.
Man, isn't it crazy that we did the /B different? Interesting. For those of you who were not there or haven't followed us, Brian got pedo bombed. He was not lying. We found the 4chan thread, the B thread, where it was totally random. They literally random number generator. People kept throwing around YouTube people, and they brigaded the scam school video and just made like, oh, it's a shame. It is disgusting what you did to that girl in Round Rock or something like that. It was something specific. Because what they want is for Brian to be like, I'm not a pedophile, which sounds like you're a pedophile. This happened while Brian was in Oakland. That video was shot in my living room. And we brainstormed how the best way to handle that would be. So yeah, if you are not aware of that, then go ahead and search for I Won the Internet Lottery on the Scam School channel. Hot Beverages on YouTube talking about the James Gunn, Dan Harmon stuff says, I'm so sick of these false equivalencies. There's a difference between formally being an awful asshat and growing out of it to be a better person and formally and presently being a terrible person. That is absolutely true. And I think, again, that's the moral question I'm more interested in having. Because if we get into the Gunn and Harmon stuff specifically, I just think that it's political. It's not really about the moral stuff. And finally, Neil writes, James Gunn and Dan Harmon both had Twitter issues in the past week. Do you think that somebody is targeting famous people who criticize Trump to shame them into silence? Just a conspiracy theory I had at work this morning. Neil, so did I. Except I've been talking about it on this show for the past week. So there is that. Yes, I do believe. And as we've spelled it out, I think it's not necessarily even a conspiracy theory. It is just the reality. Wait a minute, though. It is Wednesday. That means that we have to do the most popular segment on the JuRY Daily program. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome yourself to High Thoughts.
Schrodinger's cat would be more interesting if it were a possum. When you see a group of birds flying and they all change direction, does the front bird think, "Hey, cool, everyone is following me"? Or do they think, "Fuck, I can't shake these guys"? I know Doc Brown is dead, but what about poor Einstein being left alone while Marty goes to the past and tries to not fuck his mom? Do you think Luke Cage shaves really fast since he can't cut himself? If ghosts are real, why aren't there dinosaur ghosts? Dinosaur ghosts? Dinosaur ghosts? Dinosaur ghosts? Ladies and gentlemen,
ladies and gentlemen, if you want to write into High Thoughts when you're in the mood, wink, wink, you can go ahead and send your email to jurydaily@gmail.com. A reminder, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat is Justin R. Young, and you can hashtag join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com or reddit.com/r/diamondclub. Ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps it up for this edition of the show. Thank you so much for joining in. Until tomorrow, please don't.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.